Welcome back. Students from Unisa have taken to Twitter to share heartbreaking stories about how they're struggling with hunger. One student says he's been surviving just on water. They say they have not received their monthly NSFAS allowances. Let's find out what's going on from Unisa's Vice-Chancellor, Buleng Linkabule. Thank you very much for your time, ma'am, here on ENCA. Now, these students are describing very horrible circumstances, saying that, as you heard earlier, one of them saying that they only live on water, some of them saying that they don't even have transport to come to school, and they have to walk about 35 minutes to an hour just to get there.
I truly regret that the situation of our students is disabling for their fully or optimum functioning as students. I want to state that the University of South Africa perhaps is the largest university with the number of students who live in what our society describes as below poverty line. We admit 160,000 students who are supported by the National Financial Aid System. What that translates to is the fact that they either come from families where a combined income may be less than 325 or 330,000. So it's quite something that society must understand, that Unisa is actually a partner to society in enabling students through knowledge to extricating themselves from poverty. The second part is that beyond the 160 that are supported by NSFAS, we are also dependent for those who are in education to get funding from basic education in order that they can study. Given that we are a comprehensive open distance e-learning university, sometimes we interact with our students in terms of the provision of academic support, unlike the contact universities. And therefore, issues of hunger, issues of marginality become areas that we mediate through our centers in our regions. And in the context of COVID, this has rather been quite complex.
So what is it that the university is able to do if you can't help them in the way that you used to before COVID? I understand the students, some of them are not saying that they were not paid at all. They're saying that the money is coming into their accounts quite late, and by then they've spent quite a few days trying to help themselves.
Yes, I think because NSFAS is a national financial aid system that is aimed at assisting students who live below poverty line. And I must state that some of the complaints that are being pelted against me and even against the university, regrettably, are challenges or complexities that derive from NSFAS, the centralization of NSFAS, because we depend on NSFAS sending information, but also transferring funding for students that are registered at Unisa. So even to confirm whether a student is registered or not, we still have to engage with NSFAS. And our CFO, Mr. Ramukumba, and his team have been engaging NSFAS in order that we impact and accelerate on student access. The second aspect that I need to make, which when students complain, they often do not make this an important point. The university has extended a hand in trying to assist the students. So, for instance, we have made study materials available and without a charge, especially material available online on our website. We do so understanding that the students may not have the money yet to register or to finalize their payments for registration. But we recognize that the academic program is in progress. And in order that we do not disadvantage them, already they are disadvantaged. In order that we do not disadvantage them, we've made a decision that in many institutions is often not made, and that is to really request that they download materials that is related to their studies. They continue their academic program in spite of not having paid their fees or their registration, because we recognize the complexity that majority of them may be coming from those environments. We do this with the risks that if we were and when we account to our council or the board or even to society, we do this to mediate these challenges. And I think it's quite important to acknowledge that we did not just sit, fold our arms and do nothing. We actually said, how then do we still ensure that our students, in spite of what they're going through, they are assisted? The second part that I'd like to reaffirm, the issues that are being stated as only Unisa is actually a fallacy to project the situation as though Unisa is indifferent to students. Because if you were to go to other sites, you'll realize that the students in other universities are already stating similar challenges, such as the students at Unisa, meaning this is a structural issue that we need to sort out as society, but also that we need in the budgeting framework.
I just have to come in there for a little bit and ask you to answer this last question of mine very quickly, because we're running out of time. What is the immediate, way forward for these students? The immediate way forward.
Yes, the immediate way forward is that the students are registered, they can study. We've given them access to materials for free, but we're also going to look through our foundation on how we can help those who are in dire situation and hunger. And students at Unisa know that they communicate through our university channels if they are struggling, if they are unable to pay their fees. We've always, as a university, at least since I've started in January, been attentive to the challenges and the plight of students. And I think, as I wanted to say,
I'm sorry, I have to let you go now. That's why I was asking you to be a bit short with that answer. But thank you so much for your time and all of that information. Unisa Vice Chancellor Puleng Linkabule.